up, guys? It's Susie from HeyGrillHey.com, and if you're here, that means we already have something in common. We both love good barbecue, and that's perfect because at Hey Grill Hey, my whole goal is to help you make better barbecue so you can feed the people you love and become a backyard barbecue hero. And I think the epitome of a backyard barbecue pitmaster is a person who can cook a perfect steak. I'm gonna teach you how to do that with a grilled filet mignon and a beautiful mushroom compound butter. Let's do it. Today, we are going to be cooking these beautiful steaks using a method commonly referred to as reverse searing. I've talked about this method before with thick steaks like tomahawks or ribeyes. It also works great with fillets. It allows you to get that beautiful medium rare inside and a nice crispy, crusty sear on the outside. We're simply gonna season 4 filet mignon steaks with my beef seasoning, or I have a homemade steak rub recipe on my site if you wanna make something from scratch. Okay, steaks look great. We're gonna take them outside to the grill. We are using 2-zone cooking today. On a charcoal kettle grill, that means half of the grill is going to have high temperature coals that are already ready to go, and the other half of the grill is going to have no coals underneath. That's our indirect side, and that's where our steaks are starting. By starting them on the low temperature indirect side, means we get a nice slow rise in temperature for that edge to edge pink, and then at the end, we'll flip them over to the high temperature side to get that crispy sear. We're gonna set our steaks on the indirect heat side of the grill, close the lid, and then let these cook until they're about 10 degrees away from our finished target temperature. We're going for medium rare on these steaks, so I'm gonna be looking for about 120 to 125 degrees Fahrenheit. I think it'll take anywhere between 30 and 45 minutes. While our steaks are cooking outside, we're gonna make our mushroom compound butter. Now, I call these types of butters resting butters because I put them under the steak and on top of the steak while it's resting, and all of those flavors melt down over the top of the steak, and when you slice into it, you get all the butter from the bottom. They're amazing. And this one is especially delicious. So we're gonna start by preheating a 12-inch cast iron skillet over medium heat, and we're gonna add in about a tablespoon of olive oil. When our oil's preheated, we're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of minced shallots. This is about 1 small shallot. Let your shallot cook for a couple of minutes and then add in your garlic. Once your garlic is nice and fragrant, you're gonna add in a pound of washed and dried and finely minced portobello mushrooms. If you can't find portobellos, you can also use creminis. Just cook and stir the mushrooms until they have really cooked down, and they'll reduce by about half. Our mushrooms are looking good. I'm gonna add a pinch of salt and a pinch of black pepper, probably like a half a teaspoon of each. Season up those mushrooms. We really wanna get as much moisture out of the mushrooms in this step as we can, because the next step, we're gonna increase the heat right here to high. And then we're gonna stir in cooking wine. I like to use red wine, but you can use white wine or sherry. They all work in this recipe. And the mushrooms are gonna kind of act like little sponges and soak up all of that reduced wine. And we want to cook this until that wine has completely evaporated and these mushrooms are nice and dry. Our mushrooms look perfect. I'm going to turn off the heat, get them out of this hot pan, and let them cool completely. Then I'm going to mix them in with 8 tablespoons of softened butter. We're gonna mix our butter and our mushrooms together. You want your butter to be nice and soft so that the mushrooms incorporate. Now, this is gonna make more butter than you'll actually need for these steaks, but it is amazing if you save it and mix it into pastas the next day. You don't want it to go to waste at all because it's delicious. We're gonna spoon a little bit of this butter into 4 little mounds on our serving board so that when our steaks come off of the hot grill, we just set them down right on top of these mushrooms. And the smells that are gonna come up from underneath the steaks, and it's gonna catch all of those steak juices, it's gonna blow your mind. Save the rest of the butter. We're gonna be spooning more on top of the steaks, which we need to go check on right now. They're probably ready to flip. Our steaks have been on about 35 minutes. We're gonna check the internal temperature. Remember, we're looking for 10 degrees away from our finished target temperature. For us, we like medium rare, so that means we want our finished temperature to be 135. So I'm looking for these to be between 120 and 125, and we are right on. Look at that, 122, 123. That means these are ready to move over to the hot coals and get that nice crispy exterior crust. That's nice. Maybe some little bubbles. These steaks should only take 1 to 2 minutes per side to sear, so don't walk away. Keep your thermometer handy. We're looking for 130 to 135. I'm at 132 right now, so these are ready to come off and set on our mushroom resting butter. Of course, you need an extra spoonful of the mushroom butter on top, just for good measure. And then we're gonna let these steaks rest with the butter on top of them for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then we get to eat. All right, guys, moment of truth. These smell so good. They look so good. Let's see if we got that perfect cook down the middle. And yes, I'm cutting these with a butter knife. That's how tender it is. Look at that. That is the mark of a beautifully reverse seared steak. Edge to edge, you're getting that same exact color of pink throughout. That means it's not overcooked on the outside and raw in the middle. And then we get that nice crispy sear along the edges. I feel like I know somebody who is very excited to come try a bite of these fillets. I mean, other than me. This is really, really good. Here, I'll feed you a bite and then you can eat while I talk about them. The mushrooms are so savory. They're like the perfect counterbalance to the fillets, which are not particularly fatty, so that butter really works wonders.
That beef rub, huh?
Mm-hmm. I hope you guys give this recipe a try at home. If you do, snap a photo, post it online, use the hashtag #HeyGrillHey. That way, Todd and I can see it and cheer you on your journey to becoming a backyard barbecue hero. See you next time.